Good day. I'm Nasiroh Omar. Today I would like to present context-aware crowd monitoring with dynamic multi-user tracking data. These are the flow of my presentation. Makkah is an annual Islamic place for pilgrimage visit in Hajj season, and it involves over 180 countries to present in Mecca to perform pilgrimage, which is known as Hajj. Monitoring pilgrims create recurrent issues to their tour guides such as someone is lost somewhere, lost important documents, and getting sick in the middle of the crowd. Many attempts have been made to resolve issues while monitoring such crowd. The major aim of the attempts is to keep the pilgrims safe and on the right track of time and place. This work aims to make use dynamically of available multi-user tracking data for monitoring small crowd within the huge crowd of the pilgrims. Tracking mechanisms. There are three types of tracking mechanisms that can be done with three types of technology. One is radio frequency identification, RFID. An RFID tag is sometimes called an RFID transponder, consisting of chip, memory, and antenna. Advantage of using this technology to monitor the crowd: it gives more information to be stored as compared to using barcodes. Each RFID provides location to the reader whenever it is near to the RFID tag. However, the disadvantage of using this RFID is it is for short distance coverage. And the other approach is radio frequency identification, that is RFID, and combined with the use of mobile phone. The RFID is actually embedded in the wrist type of material, and the pilgrims has to wear that all the time. The advantage of using such approach is that global positioning system in phone allows a wider range of navigation coverage that is lacking in the RFID. However, by using both RFID and mobile phone, it involves redundancy of technology. And the latest approach is by using GPS in mobile phone alone. The advantage of using such technology is that the technology covers three-dimensional position, with an accuracy of approximately a meter, and gives nanosecond unambiguous time worldwide. And the technology can track lost pilgrims while showing directions more accurately for both the lost pilgrim as well as the people who are trying to track down the lost pilgrims. So based on the three approach, the comparison of the mechanism has been made in terms of the component use, its usage, the range, the ability, and the design. So based on this analysis, the conclusion that it is better to use GPS to give easiness in tracking and collecting the data. Research methodology. For this work, a software engineering approach is used. The first phase of the approach is understanding user requirements. This work uses abstract scene analysis methodology for extracting users' requirements for the system. In this study, more than 50 experienced and 50 inexperienced pilgrims in random selection from rural areas are interviewed. Based on the analysis of the qualitative data, the pilgrims can be categorized into 8 categories. Those who have previous experience in Mecca, literate, and can self-navigate if lost. No experience, previous experience in Mecca, literate, and can self-navigate if lost. Have previous experience in Mecca, illiterate, and can self-navigate if lost. The fourth, no previous experience in Mecca, illiterate, and can self-navigate if lost. The fifth category is the one that has previous experience in Mecca, literate, and cannot self-navigate if lost. The sixth, no previous experience in Mecca, literate, and cannot self-navigate if lost. The seventh, have previous experience in Mecca, illiterate, and cannot self-navigate if lost. The eighth is the category who has no previous experience in Mecca, illiterate, and cannot self-navigate if lost. Among the 8 categories, the 8th category is the weakest. So this work focuses on helping the last category of pilgrims which are in need of effective communication to express their problems in relation to the 3 recurrence problems. So in second phase, the components of the system are identified and also the architecture. And after the components are identified, the system is designed and implemented and followed by testing phase. So based on the prototype, the same respondents, the same people that involved in the preliminary studies were interviewed based on the following questions. And based on the analysis, there are 2 issues that are needed to be investigated and rectified. That is issue number 8 and issue number 14. Nevertheless, the result shows that the context-aware communication between pilgrims and their respective mutawifs are feasible via usage of multi-user tracking data, where in most cases their respective problems can be supported by the mutawifs. And as a conclusion, the prototype provides immediate response and services to the struggling, less advantaged pilgrims as needed. For the final conclusion, the advancement of smartphones feature embedded with default GPS allows us to make use of multi-user tracking data to provide dedicated real-time context-aware communication between both parties. The proposed communication alternative uses 4 dependent components with 5 buttons for pilgrims to select depending on their problems. Those are lost location, missing valuable item, report sickness, detect location of mutawif, and contact mutawif at any time. There exists some limitation such it cannot show the pathway to mutawif location. It shows the location of pilgrim and the specific mutawif but does not show the path to the mutawif location. These weaknesses will be further rectified in the next project. Thank you.